Good morning, Unity. Good morning, Unity. How many of you here today want to say, yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way? So we ask right now that you would stand with us as we do our praise and worship. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, I will trust you and obey. When your spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. Help me sing it. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, I will trust you and obey. When your spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. I'll say yes, yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, I will trust you and obey. When your spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
I'll say yes,
Yes, Lord,
yes,
yes, to your will and to your way. Oh, I'll say yes, Lord, yes, I will trust you and obey. Said when your spirit speaks to me, when your spirit speaks to me, I'll go where you want me to go. I'll say what you want me to say. I'll do what you want me to do. Oh, when your spirit, yes. When your spirit speaks to me. When the spirit speaks to me. When it speaks to me. Oh, when it speaks to me. Oh, when it speaks to me. When your spirit speaks to me. With my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
Amen.
Ooh, amen. And no, it's not what you think. I am the center of creation. We've done this one before, so help us with this one, all right? I am the center of creation. I am a seed planted in stillness. I am the center of creation. Fertile ground for the highest thoughts of God. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I am the center of creation. Say, I am a tree. Rooted in the fullness. Yeah. I am the center of creation.
Well, good morning. And all the kids are welcome. All the kids who are here, come up and take your place. Good morning. Morning, Brielle. Good morning. Oh my goodness, coming from every direction. I love this. Come on down. Yeah. So you enjoying your summer? Almost school's out, right? It's almost time. Well, I thought today what I would do is kind of ask you guys a couple of questions about your history. Your history specifically with accidents and owies and things where it scraped your elbow or scraped your knees or something where you injured yourself. Can you think of a time when you've done that? It's all healed now. It's something that would have happened in the past, something all done that left a mark. What kind of thing did happen to you, Jeremiah?
So so I was playing with the balloon with my sister, and my sister put the balloon on my mom's bed. I tried to grab it, and my dog bit me.
And how's it healing up?
Well, I put a Band-Aid right here, and then I took it off, and it started healing.
So it's doing better now? Ooh, what's that?
I don't know how I got this, actually. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that happens to us. Yeah, I can see something else on your elbow. That's probably a long time ago.
Scrape.
A scrape from what?
I think, I maybe slid myself and scraped my elbow, maybe.
Yeah, because we play hard, we learn how to do things, all of that. Yeah. What kinds of injuries are you remembering?
At school, when I was on the playground, there was a sharp thing, and I scraped my knee, so I went to the nurse.
And what's it like now? Is it healed up?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
At school, at PE, I fell and my lip bleeded.
Is it still bleeding?
No.
Did it get better?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
I went to the nurse and she gave me an ice pack.
Perfect. That's a great solution. Anything else? Yeah?
Friend swallowed a rock.
Say that again?
One time, one of my friends swallowed a rock.
They threw a rock?
They swallowed a rock.
They swallowed a rock. Oh my goodness. Too bad they're not here to tell us about it, huh? But that's a terrible thing. Somebody swallowed a rock. Woo. Felicity, did you have an owie or something that healed up on you?
When I was running in the concrete, I scraped both of my knees.
Oh boy. And what happened to them now? They look pretty now.
They scratched the whole thing.
But they've healed up now, it looks like.
Yeah.
Do they still hurt?
No.
No. Oh, okay. Has anybody ever broken a bone? I know, this is getting really serious here. We're taking a medical exam here. Anybody broken a bone? Your friends have. Okay, well, we need a first-person witness this morning. Well, I tell you what, let's talk about this then. In all of the experiences that you've had where you have gotten hurt, did you learn anything from it? Did you learn anything maybe from that experience or from another experience where you got hurt?
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again. That's a very good thing to learn. Was it something you were learning how to do, or it was something that you shouldn't have been doing?
It was something that I was learning to do.
And did you get better at it?
Yes.
And did that experience kind of help teach you what to do and what not to do?
Kind of.
Say that again?
Kind of.
Oh, kind of, yeah. Of course, it's part of the deal, isn't it? It's part of learning something new that happens to us. You know, today in my lesson with the adults, I'm going to be talking about all the ways that we get scratched up and bummed up and things don't happen the way we expect. And grown-ups have had a long history of a lot of those things, haven't we? They're physical. Sometimes we can point to them. Sometimes we can just remember them. And there are things that happen to us that affect us emotionally too. So thank you for sharing your experience, because we remember being your age and we remember some of the things that happened. Nicholas, you have something else to share?
One time when I was wearing skates, I was trying to get something in my hand on a sharpie nail.
One time you put your hand on what?
On a nail, but I was trying to get something.
Ooh, a nail. Yeah. Did you scratch it with a nail? No. Oh. Did you have to put a Band-Aid on it?
Yes.
Is it still there? Can you show me?
No, it's not there.
Well, it's completely gone. But you still remember, don't you? That's something that comes up for us a lot. Well, thank you so much, guys, for sharing that. I'm going to move to Mr. Ali. He has something he wants to tell us and something he wants to invite other adults to join him in.
Wow, thank you, Reverend Karen, and welcome, Unity of Houston. Thank you all for the trust and dedication that you provide with bringing your children here each Sunday. A few things that I just wanted to ask you, or actually let me step back, but just to discuss. We do need volunteers. As you can see, our children are showing up in greater numbers every Sunday. I would like to kind of share with you some of the classroom experience from the pre-K and kindergarten perspective, just to give you an idea of what we do. So right now we're actually discussing sacredness and that how each living being is sacred. And I'm sorry, this is definitely different being in front of all of you, but how each of one of us is sacred, and how all living beings are sacred in the eyes of God, and how we come from the source of God. Some of the things that we're doing in the class, so we actually did a exercise where we talking about the element of air. We went outside and we blew bubbles, and we imagined that the bubbles are love, and when the bubble breaks, our love goes all over the planet. Anyway, my question I guess I have for everyone here today is, think of the gifts and the talents that you have and how you can share those with the youth ministry. I believe personally that all of us has some sort of gift that we can offer the children. It could be from volunteering on Sundays, or even if you just want to bring snacks for the kids. I think that each and every one of us can kind of think about the things that we can offer. I will be at the back table today at the end of service. If you have any questions, would certainly like to get your information so that we can contact you, and hopefully together we can imagine exactly what it is here that we are creating, and even better for the children. So thank you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ollie. Okay, guys, are y'all ready to head to your classroom? This would be a great time. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Ask your mom and dad what kind of stories they remember when you see them next. Hi,
I'm Carolyn Taylor, and I'm excited to be part of the new offerings of the Pastoral Care Ministry here at Unity of Houston. Our support group is called Living Spiritually with Cancer. The goal of our group is to encourage and empower cancer patients who are currently in treatment, cancer survivors, their families, their friends, and anybody whose life has been touched with cancer in any way. Traditionally, we'll just sit and kind of keep to ourselves and not talk about how we feel about cancer. And our group is designed to change that, to actually talk about our spiritual practices and what we can do to lift our spirits, and also have a chance to share our stories with love and compassion. I hope you can join us, if for no other reason than to remember that you're not alone on this journey, and you can empower yourself as part of this process. And I know this because I'm on the same journey as you. So rather than just live with cancer, let's learn to thrive together.
Mindfulness exercises and meditations anchor us in times of uncertainty, allowing us to ground ourselves with our minds, bodies, and hearts. Claudia Olmos is leading an evening meditation every Wednesday night during the months of May, June, and July from 6 to 6:45 in the chapel. Each month you'll experience a new meditative practice on the themes of self-compassion, meeting uncertainty, and peace and healing. Wednesday evening meditation is available on a love offering basis, and all are welcome.
Coming up from Travel with Unity, there is a wonderful gathering at Unity Village. It's a retreat planned from June 9th through 12th called Liberating Your Divine Identity. Reverend Michael will be there in attendance. He is going to be a keynote as well as musician. And all of our LGBTQIA+ community is welcome, as well as allies. This is a few of our congregants I know are already planning to go. It's not too late for you to be a part of it if you feel drawn to it. Today, I also want to introduce you to Kristen Afzal, who is going to tell you a little bit about our young adults visioning session, our first ever, I think, and she is coming up to tell you a little bit about that. Welcome.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. Good morning. As Reverend Karen mentioned, my name is Kristen, and I'm a pretty new face to most of you, and that's because I'm relatively new to Unity of Houston. But that's most of the reason why I'm up here today. Newness. What we're doing today, Unity of Houston is committed to growing and impacting our community and the lives of our 20 to 30-year-olds, as well as within Unity of Houston. So what we're looking to do is today, we'd like to invite the 20 to 30-year-olds who are here to join us in the art gallery in the books, or by the bookstore across from the chapel, where we'll be discussing innovation, newness, how we can come up with new ways to impact our community, our lives, and each other. And we'll have snacks, and it'll be from 12:30 to 1:30. I will be there, and I look forward to meeting you, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
I'm excited about what's going to come out of that. If you're new to Unity, we just want you to know that we are so glad to have you checking out and being a part of this. If you'd like to learn more about it, there's a connection card that you're invited to fill out at our table if you're here in the sanctuary, or online if you are watching us online. There's a card that you can fill out to just kind of connect and find a way for you to find your way in. We are so grateful to be to have an expanding, beautiful ministry that is reaching out beyond our walls and bringing people to the seats in here as well as online. So you're welcome to join us in the lobby if you're here present and ask any questions that you have. Remember that wherever you are on your journey, just know that you are welcome here. So thank you for being a part of it.
To show them your love and your perfect plan. You gave me my ears. I can hear your voice so clear. I can hear the cries of seekers. But can I wipe away their fears? You gave me my voice to speak your word, to sing all your praises to those who've never heard. With my eyes, I see a need for more availability. I see hearts that have been broken, so many people to set free. Oh Lord, I'm available to you. My will I'll give to you. I'll do what you say do. Use me, Lord, to show someone the way and enable them to say, my storage is empty and I am available to you.
Just breathe in. And allow yourself now to just let those words, let that statement of availability be your statement, to be your reality, to be your moment now. By taking a deep breath into your holy vessel, your physical self, your temple. And so as you breathe into it, giving the nourishment it requires, you also breathe out all that is no longer needed. Back and forth in a beautiful exchange. And as you relax and release, you open. And now in this moment, let us open together. In this room, in this community, near and far. Our souls are connected, our spirits are one. Opening to this higher vibration of life and light and love. Breathing, opening, and letting go of worries and fears, troubles, problems to be solved, questions to be answered. Plenty time for that. For now, it is an infilling. It is a renewal. It is a touching base with what is deepest, truest, holiest within us. And as we breathe now, we allow the flow of that whole spirit, bringing every gift, refreshing, renewing, enlivening, opening our minds to new vision, imagery, possibilities. Allowing our breath now to move into our hearts, releasing any pain, any fear, any worry. Breathing through and allowing courage to take its place. Inspiration to show the way. Lifting us, opening us, releasing us through the power of forgiveness, letting go. Allow our bodies to receive in the beautiful gift of life, being renewed in every part of our being. body systems, strengthening our physicality in every way. This is our time, our moment, our recharge. And we spend the next few moments bringing our focus into our heart center, into the depths of our being, and allow ourselves to listen, to open, to receive, and to be one now. Taking another deep breath in. We allow ourselves to integrate, to receive, to allow the blessings, the grace, the love, the peace that passes understanding to find its place in us. And it is from this renewal and from this experience that we will make future choices, decisions, find solutions, take our actions, speak our words, forgive and let go, to move forward in our lives, guided, loved, empowered, with eyes of compassion and hearts freed by the power of love. And so from this place, from this moment forward, life will be different. And so it is. Amen.
As we return our attention back to this beautiful space, we feel gratitude for this opportunity to join in the spiritual practices and teachings that bring us greater clarity, open our hearts, and open our awareness to the power and presence of God right here and right now. And so we continue in our spiritual practice and moving into the practice of giving. And the practice of generosity. We know the nature of God is abundance and generosity and giving. And so we give from an open heart and from an awareness that as we give, we are a blessing and we are blessed. So we thank you for giving in the sanctuary this morning, giving online through our website or through our text to give number. We're so grateful for your love offerings that enable this ministry to create this beautiful community and allow us to engage in these practices that uplift us and raise the consciousness of our community and our world. So let's join together in blessing our offerings now with our offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. And so it is. Amen.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why lonely and long for heaven and home. When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is he. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Oh, I sing because I'm happy. Oh, I sing because I'm free. Yeah. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. Oh, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know watches over me.
Oops. Woo. So excited. It's so wonderful to be with you this morning. I did want you to know that Reverend Michael is, of course, with some of our congregation in our congregant retreat this weekend, and it is called Renew, and I'm sure they're having a great time. They certainly have much better weather now, don't they? It's cooler outside. I don't know if that's really the right word. It's humid out there, but it's cooler out there, just a little bit anyway. So I trust that they're having a good time. Well, this morning I wanted to share with you a talk that I gave, not the whole thing, but a part of it, that I gave when I first got out of ministerial school in 1994. It was one of the very first talks I gave at Unity of Houston on Sunday morning. And it involved I called it scratch-free living, because it was involving the dilemma that I had with the new house that William and I had bought. And it was our first house that we had bought together, but that either of us had bought. And what I had was a beautiful 1950s. The year I was born, actually, this house was built, and it had wooden floors all through it. It was like 2,200 square feet, and 2,000 of them were wood floors. And they were beautiful, and they had been waxed. Now, those of you who know about wood floors or have ever waxed a floor, an entire 2,000 square foot space for a working woman with small children just seemed out of the question to me. And yet, I wanted to preserve them. I wanted to take good care of them. But I also had heard about polyurethane. And polyurethane would be placed over it, and it would keep them looking great all the time, that you could spill things on it and wipe it right up, which was perfect for my living style, and I didn't have to wax. But the only drawback to them, not the only, but that's major drawback, is that if you ever scraped it really hard and you scraped through it, you would have to sand it out and replace it or redo it again. What's a girl to do? So I tortured myself trying to figure out which way would I go with these beautiful floors. And I kind of William was, just at the length of his tolerance for my dilemma because he did not see that this was an issue. But as time went on, as enough time went on, that I finally kind of woke up and looked and just really looked at these floors. They were my age, obviously. They were 40 years old. And they were not perfect, I walked around through them, and there were certain corners that looked like some water had spilled in there, and they had stained them, and that there was some places that looked like they probably had been replaced, and that there was, some other imperfections in them. It did not make me love them any less or value them any less. I really loved the life and the character of them. And I was okay with polyurethane because that's what I ended up doing, and it worked out great. But that's not the story. The story is that just like those 40-year-old floors, by then I already had a few dings and knocks and scratches, right? On my life and on my heart. That there are things that give us character and life, and there are things that happen to us in this life because they're meant to. Not everything is the way we want it, and not everything is what we would have wished for or what we prayed for or maybe even what we deserved. But yet, we have been enough, and we have met those things as we have walked through our lives. And nobody gets through this life scratch-free. There are lines on our faces, and they show our wisdom and our experience. In international circles, magazines from international sources and from the models there, they don't airbrush things. I don't know if they still don't, but they don't airbrush. They let the natural marks and the birthmark or the freckles or the mole or the different imperfections, when you see that up close, when you see a beautiful person and then see some of the imperfections, this is a unique beauty, and you feel closer. You feel it's almost an intimate moment to really see. When we airbrush everything out of it and just have this beautiful facade, we've eliminated some of that connection, some of that truth, and some of that honesty. Gloria Steinem was talking about, in her book, Everyday Rebellious Actions, she shares about sharing a spa experience with other women over a 10-day period. She noticed that as the 10 days went on, while they were in their spa and in the saunas, she said she noticed that women all began to wear less and less clothes around each other, that they were getting more and more comfortable around each other, and more comfortable with their nudity. Gradually, she says, there was also less embarrassment about appendectomy scars and stretch marks, cesarean incisions, and the like. Scars are supposed to be marks of courage on a male body, but marks of ugliness on a female one, she says. Dueling scars, war wounds, scars as violence, those images were part of the reason I had assumed that such marks were shocking on men as well as on women. But many women's body scars have a very different context, and thus an emotional power all their own. Stretch marks and cesarean incisions from giving birth are very different from accident, war, and fight scars. They evoke courage without violence, strength without cruelty, and even so, they're far more likely to be worn with diffidence than bragging. That gives them a moving, bittersweet power, like seeing a room where a very emotional event in our lives once took place. There were other surgical scars that seemed awesome to me too, but not as evocative as those from childbirth. How do women survive even the routine physical price of skin stretched to its limit? After one cesarean birth, where do some women find the courage to attempt several more? Perhaps we'll only be fully at ease with ourselves when we can appreciate scars as symbols of experience, often experiences that others share, and see our bodies as unique chapters in a shared story. Course in Miracles says that our body is a communication tool. The first time I read that, I was really kind of stunned by it because I was like, a communication tool? Well, okay, voice, speaking, facial expression, hands, hand signals, all the ways in which we communicate. That's what I was thinking. But as I really allowed that understanding to kind of deepen and soak down, I began to realize just how much our bodies and all of its interior as well as the exterior is actually communicating with something greater than us. That divine, experience comes through in images and in perceptions, in chill bumps, and in insights, and in the ways in which we open ourselves. Our emotions that come up, that come from the experience that we have in the outer world. It is coming up from inside of us in some way. Our bodies are beautiful vehicles. They're not just rooting us to time and place, although they are. Our avatar in this 3D world and this experience that our divine souls are embodying, yes. But there's also a way in which we are communicating with and beyond. We're sending out brain waves and emotional vibrations. We're sending out all kinds of other messages that are connecting with others, and we're receiving that from others as well. This is a very fluid and dynamic thing, such that our bodies really don't have limits, even though they seem to. Our physicality is reaching way beyond. Just think for a minute, all the ways in which our bodies appear and communicate to others and others in the world through the ways we just look, the way that we are, what we do. Scars from our battles, from wartime, courage and survival. Memorial Weekend is next weekend. And we will be united in gratitude for the sacrifices made for all of us. That the warriors telling stories of war to their community serves the community to understand that their bodies are like walking parchment, the story of battle and courage and survival, of caring about one's other brothers, of the others and other warriors that they share these life and death experiences with. In civilian life, other stressors leave scars. Eating disorders, stretch marks, and health issues. Depression, scars of desperation or hopelessness, and all kinds of pain. Cancer or disease, where surgical solutions bring healing. We can all speak to these. We've seen them. If we don't have them, we know someone who does. Scars from accidents, like the ones the kids were telling us about, all the places that we've been. Scars from our childhood, elbows and knees, learning to ride bikes, skateboards, sleds, sports. I had a skateboard injury. I didn't have any broken bones or anything growing up, and no one in my family did, but I was on a skateboard that my next door neighbor had made with an old pair of skates on a piece of wood, and I had just learned how to get on it and how to go down the sidewalk. And my mom was out in the yard talking to his mom, and I said the forever the forever iconic statement, "Hey, Mom, watch this." And so I just skated and pushed and skated down the sidewalk and was going as fast as I could. And of course, yes, it stopped. I did not. And I hit the sidewalk with my mouth open and broke both of my 2 front teeth. My right one, more damaged than the left one, but both of them broken. And this happened in between 5th grade and 6th grade, right, in the summer. And so I had to wait for my teeth to become mature before they could be capped. And so I went through all of middle school and all of high school like that. And I thought that was, I should get some brownie points for that. I thought of the time in my life when I could really have used some good front teeth. That was the time. I'm not even sure I really needed them after that much, but I really needed them then. But not so. And in fact, I don't know if this was just a wink and a nod, but my teeth were capped the week before I graduated from high school. So I was able to go into college and be a little bit more put together in my own mind, and I just went on with it, and just made, you do, like we all do. You work with what you got, right? You do what you have to do. We know that events and words that have wounded or impressed upon us to decide things about the world and about life and about ourselves are things that we carry, but they're also what gives us character. Yeah, we get scratched up and bumped around, and we have some scars, and we have some difficult memories. We have some things that we wish hadn't happened and things that shouldn't have happened, but did. We carry these with us, and we all carry scars. We show the wear and tear of our human life experience on our bodies, on our psyches, on our souls. But scars are places where healing has happened. They are a tribute to our learning process, signs of how we've been strengthened by the process of living. Just like the kids down front. What did they learn? They learned not to do that again. That was important. They learned what not to do as much as what to do. And so did you, and so did I, through the strength of our lives, in the process of living. Jesus talks about this in a beautiful way, I think. He says in Luke chapter 5, "No one pours new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the new wine will burst the skins, and the wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, new wine must be poured into new wineskins. And no one, after drinking old wine, wants the new, for he says the old is better." What is this wineskin business? What it really speaks to is that when wine is first made and fermented, it has to be poured into new wineskins so that they can stretch. They're able to stretch with the fermentation process and hold the wine. Otherwise, if you put new wine into old wineskins, they burst and break. The people that Jesus was talking with understood that, and they understood metaphor. And they understood that what he was really talking about was that there was some change in us that has to occur so that we can ripen with the new experience, that something has to be hollowed out in us, that some compassion has to come into play, that some stretchiness around our hearts has to be achieved so that we can embrace what happens and become more than it and carry it and walk with this new experience, this new consciousness that greets our lives from a more mature and beautiful place of gratitude and power and honesty and love. Life experience strengthens our spiritual growth, and there's a change of consciousness that happens. And that's what happens when drinking old wine, when someone after drinking old wine wants the new, because he says the old is better. The old is better. Need not be ashamed about our scars. We don't, physical or emotional. Stay with the process of healing until we get the gift. That's the point. Now, 56 years later, after my skateboard accident, my damaged tooth had survived. It wasn't expected to, but it did. Up until recently, it was no longer attached to the bone and it had to be removed. And I knew that was going to have to happen, so I had a retainer made with a tooth in it. And so I thought I would just go through the procedure and slip it in there and you wouldn't be any the wiser, and I could just keep this on the down low. And that was my plan. And the thing of it is that the retainer really didn't fit right. And even after some revisions, when it at least wasn't hurting anymore, it still wasn't working. Because what do I do for a living? This is what I do for a living. I talk to you, and I talk to you personally and privately, and I talk to you out loud and in front, and I teach. This is what I love to do. And I can't be spitting and sputtering and talking over a plastic thing because I'm too vain to show that I have a tooth missing in the front of my face. While it wasn't the plan, it became the reality. And I'll tell you that it is with my voice and with my words that I teach. It is with my love that I share and that I bring compassion to you when you need it, and in ways that I have learned it makes a difference. And now, I also teach with a missing tooth in the front of my mouth. Why? Because just like those floors, I'm not scratch-free either. And I have character and life, and I love to share that with you. And I have learned you do too, no matter what kinds of things you're dealing with, and no matter what kinds of sorrows you're carrying, and no matter how it is that you're feeling today or not, what's happened or hasn't happened. My purpose is service, and I found that being able to do this without something in the way, as my husband said, nobody thinks you're a tooth, Karen. I disagreed with him in the moment, but I've come to feel that that's probably true. Hey, do you think I could get on the cover of a South American magazine? Maybe that's, this is definitely authentic. In 2 Corinthians, we read, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Say that with me. My grace is sufficient for you because my power is made perfect in weakness. One more time. My grace is sufficient for you because my power is made perfect in weakness. I am banking on that promise. And I'm going to invite you to go into prayer with me now. And so we just breathe once again. And just take a moment now just to reflect on all the places, maybe in your physical self, that you feel imperfect, or where you feel that you're not all you want to be, that people judge you from the way you look or the way you show up, what's missing or what's too much. The place in your lives that you have been that there is still a wound that you carry or a memory that you can't somehow release. That in this moment, whatever it is that is imperfect in you, give it up. Let it go. Open to receiving the grace that transforms and links us to the power that's made perfect in the courage of sharing who we really are and what matters most. And so in this moment, let us allow ourselves to be healed now and always. Feel the grace that flows and unites us with the divine power that moves through us and is perfected as us, so that we now bring renewed, healing power to the world. And so it is. Amen. Catherine May wrote these words. She says, well, it just completely dissolved. I don't know what, it's a beautiful little poem. She said, life meanders like a path through the woods. We are changed by the seasons, and we bloom. And some seasons, we lose all our leaves, revealing bare bones. Given time, they grow again. And it's true. Scratch-free living? I wouldn't wish that for you. God bless you all.
I wonder, what am I in this world to do? What I here for is one thing I know is true. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I am. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, looking in the mirror, I'm asking, am I the change I long to see? You know the world is just a picture of what's inside of you and me. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I am. I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. The air and the land and sea is a precious gift to me. In a world that's torn between war and strife, all we can do is claim love as our reality. I tell you, if you ask me, oh, what I am in this world to do, I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am. Oh, I am. I live for the spirit. 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 Oh, I live for the spirit I am. I live for the spirit I am.
I
Join us for a spiritual refresh in the middle of the week at Wednesday Night Satsang, where we've been doing a series on the amazing book Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, and I'll be sharing the message this week on the discovery of inner space, a whole new world within, and that will be at 7 p.m. in person and on the live stream. We're accepting pet food donations next Sunday from 10:30 a.m. through 1 p.m. in our drive-thru, so please consider bringing pet food and supplies to donate. Our Youth and Family Ministry graduation ceremony and luncheon is Sunday, June 5th from 12:30 to 2 in Wallet Hall. Hope you'll join us.
And now if you'll please stand and join us singing our peace song together. Let us join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. That's so.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a